Today is Tuesday, September 24th, 2019, and I have an important update on the story of something that occurred. Basically, so today, Isabella, you're 11, Michael is 10, and about 3 years ago, I think it is, I made the decision to allow starting first with Isabella and then Michael eventually to have cell phones. And considering that we live in Harmon Cove Towers, to give you guys flexibility when it came to going out and hanging out with your friends and things of the sort, going to the game room, etc. The understanding was that you would stay within Harmon Cove Towers. You'd be in the game room, you would be in the park, right? And then also at the same time, when it came to the cell phone, you know, we would continue to monitor your friendships to make sure that you had healthy friendships, and at the same time, not associating with bad people or people who don't have the same values that we do. And also at the same time, monitoring you, especially Isabella, when it came to your growth as a person, you know, boys, things of the sort, etc. Your mother and I went to Costa Rica last week, I think it was. We went for a week, and we did it in part because we felt comfortable and trusting you guys, that you respected us and our rules, the guidelines that we set forth, the instructions we set forth. You know, we expected that if you said that you were going to the game room, that you were going to the game room. And you know what, come to think of it, it's more me who expected it, not so much your mother. She probably had more common sense than I did. In either event, yesterday, Isabella decided to not take the bus from school to home, and instead took a shuttle bus to the Wendy's over there, and then to walk from the Wendy's over there all through this crap here, all the way to the Krausers back there, with a friend called Ella. She got a 92 on her test, which I was really proud of and happy for. But she asked me, can I go? I responded by saying, how are you gonna get there? She responded by saying, we took the shuttle bus, meaning that she made the decision on her own of going. And you know, that in itself was a violation. But you know, initially I was okay with it, because I was like, you know what, she took a risk. And I like it when you guys take risks, because life is about taking risks, healthy risks, right? But at the same time, it was problematic because you know, took a bus, another bus to another place without my knowledge, of me knowing where you are, who you're with, you know, in a public area where you could be kidnapped, you could have been hit by a car. I just read in the newspaper this morning, a 15-year-old kid was hit by a car crossing the street just like Meadowlands Parkway. 15 years old, and you're 11. But you know, again, I was okay with it because you took a risk, and you know, I get it. And you know, I was once a kid too, and I'm happy that you have a social life, you know. And I think that part of the reason why I'm so flexible, more flexible than your mother, is because I had a pretty tough life. You know, I didn't have a good social experience in elementary school. When I was your age, I was very much coddled, maybe not coddled, but wasn't allowed out almost. Didn't have friends because I didn't grow up with a sibling, and because I didn't grow up with a father figure. I didn't know how to relate to people. So I was a weird kid, and because I was a weird kid, I got picked on a lot and also felt socially awkward all the time. I didn't know how to relate to people socially, and because of that, it was just a constant state of discomfort for me, you know. And I didn't want that for you guys. I wanted you to be the cool kids that I never was. And because of that, I wanted you to have the flexibility and the empowerment to be able to do that in the best way possible. Let me report the cop on the other side of the road. Cop, other side, there. Okay. So because of that, I, you know, have been flexible, have let you do things that my mother wouldn't let me do at the age of 11, and that, you know what, in this day and age, kids do, which is, you know, stay within the fucking building, go to the game room, because we live in a complex. That's the other reason that I felt comfortable. We live in a building complex. It's an area, and I felt that as long as you confine yourself to this area, it's okay. We're fine. Okay with, you know, that's a boundary that I was willing to allow you to work within. Well, in either event, after Isabella decided to go to Wendy's on her own without asking for permission and no knowledge of where she was, I'm checking her phone, and I find a friendship that she has with this girl called Mia that I don't like. Your mother doesn't like either. And let me explain, to be clear, it's not because she's black. That has nothing to do with it. Oh, cop. Let's report this cop. Asshole. We are trying to work and go to work, Mr. Copper. Leave us alone. It's not because she's black, all right? It's because of she's ghetto. That's why. There's this woman called Candace Owens who's black that I respect and love. Well, love is a strong word, but you know what I mean. She's black, but she's educated, intellectual. She's an educated intellectual who is cultured, okay? This friend of yours, Mia, not cultured. She's your age, 10 or 11, and she's talking about go get that dick? What the fuck? She's 10 or 11. I'm 43. If I curse, I'm 43. I can curse. Okay? But she's talking about go get that dick? And she was encouraging you to go meet with her in her neighborhood or whatever, and apparently you went to her home. Or at least around her neighborhood, which was outside of Harmon Towers. Now, on top of that, now I know me is not the cause of the problem. The problem is that because I'm sure this didn't just happen with me. I'm sure that you've done this before. But the point is that I find out that, as at least one example, while your mother and I were in Costa Rica, trusting that you would listen to our instructions, you not only left the building and walked as far as Wendy's, or at least Krauser's, you took your fucking brother with you. The kid is 10, you're 11. Now you might ask yourself, oh, well, what's the difference between me and my brother? The difference is that, as you know, women for whatever reason mature earlier than boys. And I considered you to be more mature. And because I considered you to be, you acted more mature. You are more mature. At least today you are, than your brother. He's still young and innocent, right? He still, you know, loves me, and, well, you love me too. But he'll still hug me and give me affection, and but he's not going through the whole body changing thing that you are, right? As an example, he's still that innocent, young, dumb kid that you're supposed to be at the age of 10 and 11. But you were a little bit more mature, and because you were a little bit more mature, we trusted you. I trusted you with, if I say go to the game room, that you would go to the game room. You took your brother with you so that you wouldn't get in trouble. You know, aside from, you know, feeling hurt because, like, I trusted you and now I can't trust you. It's like this girl who I thought could be, would be, or is you know, a girl that I can trust, my daughter, is someone who has lied to me. Now listen, this isn't abnormal. Kids lie. I lied. Your mother has lied. All kids lie, right? But I was hoping that, you know, maybe, I knew you'd lie to me. You have lied to me. You've done it before. You'll do it again. But I was hoping that, you know, you would learn that if you don't lie and if you stay within the rules and operate within the rules, you would have this flexibility that I would give you. And I was wrong. But aside from that, I mean, think about, you know, the other thing that gets to me is the things that could have happened. You know, you guys could have been kidnapped. Shit, you guys could have been hit by a car. You both could be dead right now. You know? And I'm mad with myself because this says that, yeah, I was wrong when it came to parenting, you know? I was wrong. I thought I, you know, I don't know, whatever. I thought I was doing a good job, you know, and now I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I don't want you, Isabella, to be, you know. The other thing that concerns me is you're showing early signs of, like, poor decision making, that when you turn 14, 15, 12, 13, a year or two from now, that you may make poor decisions with boys, you know? And I don't want that for you. You're showing signs of a girl who, you know, who because of her fucking idiot friends like Mia, go get that dick, right? Is gonna think that sex at your age is normal and okay, and it's not. You know? So I have to unfortunately put strict rules on you now. Give me a second. So I guess in conclusion to the point that I'm trying to make and the realization that I'm making is that when it comes to parenting, unfortunately being the flexible dad doesn't work. And you know, we have to restrict you. So we took away your cell phone, took away your Apple Watch. Social life is gone. And the reason why is because you're being exposed to things way too early that you shouldn't be exposed to by people who do not have your best interest in mind, who are young themselves, who come from family backgrounds that are not good, like Mia. You know, what does it say about Mia and her parents that she, a 10 or 11-year-old, is saying, go get that dick? And she's using the word period. Period. Which is ghetto slang for, you know, I don't have to explain it. But where does she get that from? She gets that from Cardi fucking B. Cardi B. The rapper, singer, who used to be a stripper, who used to rob men while being a stripper. This is who she listens to. Now, I get it. I'm sure you've heard her music too. But Mia, due to lack of parenting on her parents' part, has absorbed Cardi B as a persona and acts like her and therefore retains that mentality. Go get that dick at the age of 10 or 11. So you're being exposed to things way too early. This also tells me that you'll be exposed to sex way too early. You know? And our job is to protect you. Our job is to prevent you from making poor decisions because you're a kid. You're starting to like boys. You already like boys. You know? And boys are already liking you. And boys, you know, they have hormones just like you have hormones. And they're gonna, you know, want to do things with you. They're gonna want to have sex with you. They're gonna want to be physical with you. Okay? And because of peer pressure, And because of wanting to be liked, you'll allow them to do these things to you. This is how it works. Okay? So our job as a parent is to put boundaries so that these things can't happen, and to limit access to these things as best as possible. In conclusion, yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm sad over this. I'm sad because I feel like I'm fucking up as a father, and what that means in translation is that I'm sad and I'm concerned that you're gonna become that girl who, you know, has sex at an early age, who sleeps with multiple boys, who feels peer pressure into, you know, kissing a boy or letting a boy touch her because she just wants to be accepted, right? Or because, you know, the boy put pressure on her and she didn't know how to respond to it because she's so fucking young. It's gonna happen anyway. But you're fucking 11 years old. I don't know what else to say. I think I've said everything I can. Hopefully you'll watch this video someday. A lot of times I record this and have no idea if it's even going to be watched. I post it to YouTube and hope that it will be. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Anyway, hope you understand and learn from this, and above all, I hope that you become the young woman that chooses to be a virgin, that chooses to respect her body, that chooses to be different from the rest, who doesn't allow peer pressure to determine where she goes, what she does, who she goes with, etc. The young woman who makes wise decisions, who understands the importance of education and finishes school, graduates from college, listens to her father. When I have a roadmap set out for you, if you just listen and do what I tell you, your life is set. It's up to you to fuck it up. Don't be that person who fucks it up. Today is September 30th, 2019, and behind me there is this really cool barbecue from Coverall that I just attended. I'm very thankful for that. I won a $25 Amazon gift card, and it was just a really nice gesture. I'm gonna try to record more as I drive out. Hold on. I'm late for a conference call. How do you flip this around? Here we go. Okay. Let's try not to run anyone over. See, there it is over there. Nice little barbecue that they did, and all these wonderful people for Coverall. Very nice of them. Very nice of them to do that.
So whatever list you pin is the list that's going to automatically populate once you go into client and prospect. So I want to go to my client list so that I can create a list from there. I don't want to create it for my affluent clients because that's a custom list that I actually created. So if I go to my clients, it will pull up all of my clients, and from here I can customize any list that I want. So right now we're going to create, oh my God, I am so sorry. This is not working right now to create a list for you. You can see right here, all of these are grayed out. My cloning or create a new. It's not working right now, so I apologize. It was working an hour ago because I did a session before this, and it was working fine. Now it's not, and I apologize. I cannot show you how to create this list because it is not coming up.
No, it wasn't. What was that?
It's too late. You lost, brother.
Cántamelo. Please.
No.
Chili. From my memories, please.
¿Cuál quieres que te cante?
El que me cantaste.
99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down and pass this around, 98 bottles of beer and the wall, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles. Take one down, pass this around, 97 bottles.
That's what they have you doing?
Yeah, sure, man. Tengo que cantar en mis clases.
So that is Monday, October 7th, 2019. And I'm going to tell you the story real quick about something that happened on Friday, I think it was, or Saturday, I'm not sure. Basically, as I've expressed to you guys before, your mom and I many times leave you guys in the apartment by yourselves because we don't have anyone to help us when it comes to watching you kids. And you know, you guys are old enough and mature enough to be here by yourselves. You're not dummies. You know, you follow instructions well. You don't cause any trouble, and you know, it's fine for you guys to be here alone. However, and it's not illegal either, because according to the law, at least that I looked up, there is no designated age, particularly in the state of New Jersey, and it's kind of more at the parents' and court's discretion. So if something were to happen, then, you know, the court can determine that it was not good. But for the most part, assuming, you know, normality, it's fine. In either event, this past Friday, I went to the Harvard Club with your mother so that we could study together. And while I was there, Mikey FaceTimed me to let me know that there were alarms going off. I let you guys know way in advance that if that were to happen, you're to call me, and I will instruct you as to what to do. Bella, for whatever reason, instead of doing that, decided to open the door to look outside. And when she did that, either that or the second time she opened the door, the firemen realized that there were people in the apartment. Now, the firemen couldn't identify where the fire was, so they started banging on the door, right? Because now they know someone's here. And just like normal protocol, they wanted to see, well, if someone's there, let's see if the fire's here. But at that juncture, I already had said, don't answer the door, because, you know, I was afraid of, you know, what if, I don't know, I get in trouble or something. And more importantly, based on my assessment of the situation, there was no risk, there was no danger, there was no fire, there was no smoke. There was the smell of smoke, but there was no smoke, no fire. So the safest place is to stay inside of the apartment. Well, because Bella stuck her head out, and because the firemen saw her, now they're banging on the door, banging. They were about to break down the door. When I eventually arrived about 20 minutes later, the cop yelled at me. My mother tried to, you know, walk through so that she could see whether or not you guys were by yourselves, and I had to tell her to stop, and she raised her voice at me. You know, and I normally don't raise my voice back, but this time I did, because it was not the right time for her to be doing her antics. And, you know, so now, you know, whatever. That's it. I mean, it was a big issue. The neighbors, you know, thought that we were the cause of the fire and that we were hiding it, and that's why, you know, we wouldn't answer the door. So just thought I'd share that little memory with you guys, because it was a pain in the ass. And yeah, anyway, that's it. I'll leave it at that for
I
now.
want to label. So I want to say not contacted. Days or 180 days, whatever the amount of days that you want. Okay, and then I save. Okay, so now is where I go ahead and I put in my filters, what it is that I'm looking for. So automatically these come up because that is the first letter of the alphabet, which is A. So that's why age is here, but you can get rid of them. So I'll just click on it, and then now I can change that filter. So now I want to say last contact, because that's, so I go to L, and I click last contact. Okay, and what do I want? I want last contact that has not been contacted for the past 90 days or more than that. So I select less than, then in here, I put in last 90 days. Then I click done. Okay, and then now I can get rid of this because I don't need the age. I can get rid of that one. Okay. I can leave my logic or I can remove it. You don't necessarily need the logic unless the only time you really need a logic is when I'm going to have two filters for the same thing. So let's say I have last contact less than 90 days. Okay, and then now let's say I want to add another filter for the same thing, last contact. And then now I want last contact equals to 0, meaning that you see all of these here where there's no date on it. I want to see those as well. So I can just say last contact equals to, and there's nothing in the value, so I click done. Now I've got two filters with the same, under the same field. So that now I would really need the logic, okay? Now, just to show you what's going to happen, even the way it is, see it shows 1 and 2. Okay, I'm going to save it, and now I get an error message, okay, because my logic is not right. So what I want now is I want last contact less than 90 days, or I also want last contact equals to 0. Here is where I go in and I fix my logic. So my logic, which is in parentheses, I want 1 or 3 and 2. So because I have two of the same filters, okay, but different values, I've got to put that in the logic. Okay, and you always have to put it in the parentheses with an or if you're asking for two filters, different values. Okay, so now I can say save. Okay, so now it's giving me what I'm asking for. So if you look at last contact here, okay, it shows me all of my clients that I have not contacted.
And my last question is my last question is it possible to do a sort for multiple columns at the same time? So if I wanted to sort by branch, then by household investments.
So you want to filter by branch as well?
Well, I don't want to change the list. I want to keep the list as is. But let's say I want to use that list, but today I just want to call Oradell clients who have more than 250. But I don't want to change the list.
So if you don't want to change the list, then what you have to do is you have to sort the column.
Right. So, but if I want to do a multiple sort.
If I go up here, so if I go up here, I can sort my branch column and put them in alphabetical order. Okay, so I can sort all the columns and put them in order. That way I can see, okay, which ones I want to call. Or I can add additional filters.
Okay, but there's no way to... So there's no way to sort Oradell and household investments at the same time?
No, I would have to add another filter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, otherwise you have to sort each of the columns separately. So if I sort this column here, now I've got this column by household investment. Okay, but if I want to see, households of just 250, I have to add a filter. If I want to see a specific branch only, let's say I only want to see the New Albany branch.
Today is, what day is today? Monday, October 14, 2019. And Michael and I are preparing for Halloween. Preparing for Halloween.
I really want my daughter dressed up as possible.
Michael. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. I'm training for when you're older. And mommy's over there studying like a good student.
Just fucking beat it.
Hi, mommy. How are you? Come and play with us, mommy. Come and play with us.
You're just promising me it won't happen. I know, Mom, but he's been promising me that. Do you believe him? I want to believe him. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Bella, what are you doing?
What can I do? You can stand up for yourself. No. I don't want to give up.